Rochelle White, welcome. Omonika Ikeade, Eric Osadolo, Neki Okoro, Mufelola, Adeleke, Olabode, Nikki Christian. Well, welcome. We are talking to this week about how to win in life, or who wins in life. So we are going to be talking about who wins in life and how to win in life. This week I've already spoken about a lot of qualities that make you to win in life. Today and this evening I'll be talking on another vital quality that makes you and me to win in life. And that quality is persistence. So if you want to win in life, persistence must be your watchword. If you want to win in life, persistence must be your watchword. Persistence must be your watchword. That's what we are going to be talking about today, persistence. So let me greet a few of you that are here already. Eric Osadolo, Neki Okoro, Mofelola, Adeleke, Olabode, Nikki, Kika Adetiba, Agbemi Orekoya, Jide Craig, Obi Ojiwadu, Justin Mayo, Dr. Sufficient is here, Afolabi Victor, Fumi Jeboda, Shigonwa 4, Professor Daniel, Solange, Fumi Jeboda, Yobi Jegede, Okeaya, Ine, Nigerian Arise, I guess that should be Nigeria Arise, Ufuoma, Darlene, Mashu Esong, Kiro Jimadu, Obina. Yep. Okay. Just before we start, if you don't mind, let's go ahead and share the message. Let's go ahead and share the message. Look for the share button. The share button is supposed to be under the video. If you look properly, your device should tell you where and how you could share the message. So let's quickly go and share the message. For you to win in life, persistence must become your watchword. For you to win in life, persistence must be your watchword. To win in life, you must be persistent, but persistence must become your watchword. And my approach to this message today is going to be totally unique than what I've done in the past. But, I have different styles of presenting my message, and I'm going to present this message in an original style. I'm going to be talking about the great people who have discovered the power and force and benefits of persistence. And I'm going to be falling back on the shoulder of the great men and women that have discovered the power and the secret of this great work and of this wonderful quality. But let me remind you what we have spoken about so far. You remember what led me to this is that we don't want people to keep on running after miracles. So I say, instead of you running after miracles, or thinking that your life depends on anybody's word, or your life depends on some people's prayer, or that only one church or the other can give you breakthrough, so that you will know that you could build your own life, you can build your own destiny, you could become the architect of your own life, and you can win in life, not necessarily by being overly religious and deceived, like people are making us to be, by sending us to those churches to sit down there all day and sometimes all week. And now I heard that some people are in those churches for 40 days, 30 days, and all kind of things, and people are wasting away. So just anyhow. So I don't get it. Somebody just wrote, "Good evening, Pastor," using my name. My Facebook. Dr. Sunday Adelaja is greeting me, saying, "Good evening, Pastor." Who is that? Who could be doing that? Using my own Facebook to enter and greeting me, "Good evening, Pastor." Someone needs to find out about that. If I'm online, you are supposed to be using my Facebook to put advertisement, to put announcement or things like that. Otherwise, you are creating confusion as if I'm in two places, as if I'm a participant and I'm the one also saying, "Good evening, Pastor." So I pray that is not an imposter. Anyway, Anyway, where am I now? So I've spoken about winning in life. I started like saying, cannot just depend on some miracles or some prayers to win in life. That is cheating. That is fraud. That's being a fraud actually. So you not to do anything much, not to operate by the principles of God, not to do things by the way God wants you to do it, and just assume that you will wake up in the morning and become rich just because some pastors pray for you, or just because some pastors release some anointing upon you or some blessings upon you. That is a fraud. That is not real. And many people, that's why a lot of our church people or Christians, they go to churches all week, all year, and every year they've been telling you and giving you promises that you will be this, you will be that, you will have breakthrough, they've been giving you all these prophecies every year. And what has changed? And in a lot of people's life, nothing much has changed. Maybe, you say, I know one person who gave a testimony, I know another person. But most of you, nothing has changed in your lives. Why? Because, it is not a mystic. God is not a mystic. And this is not a magic. We are not in a kingdom of magicians. God is not a magician. God is a predictable God because he has given us his laws and his principles through which we could be successful in life. And that we don't really actually need to become Christians or be going to those churches to be successful in life. The fact that we are Christians is an additional bonus for us. It's an additional advantage. So who are the people then that win in life? What do they do differently than us? And, what are the factors that make people to win in life? And in every sphere of life, it doesn't matter what sphere of life that you see yourself in. If you want to win in life, you must possess these qualities that we're talking about. The number one quality that I spoke about was that if you want to win in life, you must be swift. You must be somebody who is quick, who take decisions quickly, who has a very short span between his impressions and feelings and decision-making process. You must be swift in everything you do. When you are swift, then you have a possibility of, when you are swift, then you stand a better chance of making it in life. People who make it in life, very rarely will you find anybody who made it in life without being swift, quick, without possessing speed, and and being fast in life. People who are fast, who are quick, who are swift, they win in life. Number two, we also spoke about the second quality that makes people to win in life. I think the second quality was diligence. If you want to win in life, you have to be diligent. People who win in life are people who are diligent. Then the third quality that we spoke about was about being an upstart. That people who win in life are people who are upstarts. So if you are diligent in all your matters, there is just no way you not win. But if you combine diligence with speed, you will not just win, you will rule. But if you combine that with being an upstart, wow, you just be the head over your generation. And you don't need anybody to come lay some hands on you. You don't need anybody to come and pick some prophecies on you. You don't need anybody to come and be pouring oil or anything upon your head or some water. You are all right to be able to attain any goal that you wish to attain in your life. Then this morning we spoke about people who win in life, that they must know how to fight. Only people who fight, they fight for their rights, they fight for their survival, for their strength, they fight for their qualities, they fight for themselves, they fight for their vision, they fight for their goals, they fight for their passion, they fight for whatever they need in life. If you are not willing to fight, you will never win. The only people who have learned to fight, who are constantly fighting on a daily basis for whatever they need, who are not timid, who are not too embarrassed or timid or ashamed to stand for themselves, people who know how to fight, they are the ones who win in life. And today, we're talking about the next principle of those who win in life. Everybody that win in life, you'll be able to trace these principles from them. Either they have some of them or one of them, but these principles are actually real wealth. These principles that we are talking about, they are more important than money. These principles that we are talking about, they are more important than riches. But unfortunately, people have been deceived. People think that they need riches. People think that it is money they need. But really, what you need are qualities. Qualities are wealth. And these qualities, these values are the wealth from which riches are being made, from which money are being made. Money comes from values. Money comes from wealth of values. And these things that we are talking about, they are the things that, like for example, if you listen to the HMT last week, you probably have discovered that I took each one of these qualities and I expanded on them, on how you could turn these things to wealth. How can you turn speed and swiftness into wealth? We spoke about it in the last HMT. Go listen to the HMT there. You will see that speed will deliver wealth. It is already wealth. It will deliver riches to you. Speed will deliver money to you. Just know how to convert it. You must just be able to convert swiftness into riches. And the same thing with diligence. Diligence delivers riches to you easy. Just a diligent person is just, money is looking for him, opportunity is looking for him, riches will be looking for you. But if you also know how to convert, even if you don't know how to convert, even if you don't realize that you can convert it, you discover that all these qualities are wealth already. But if you are diligent and you know how to convert it, you'll never even be talking or be in need of looking for money or looking for riches, because this is wealth by itself already. The same thing if you are an upstart, and you'll be able to get money. Money is not the problem. These things are more important than money. So the qualities like diligence, qualities like swiftness, qualities like being an upstart, they are actually much more important than money. Qualities like ability to fight for your vision, to fight for whatever you need, they are much more than money is important. But unfortunately, we've been deceived. We've been taught that it is only money that really matters and it is only money that you need. But really, these qualities are much more valuable than money. And the quality I'm going to talk about today, let me give you, and that's why I want to approach it the way I want to approach it today, because I want to refer back to great men and women that have lived in history, that had all the kind of money that you would not even be able to imagine, that had all the kind of positions that you would not even be able to, believe it. These people had everything that you are still dreaming about today, but they are now saying that this quality that we are talking about, that we are going to be talking about in this message, is much more important than all their position, than all the money they had, than all the things that they ever had access to. Why? Because qualities, invisible wealth, are always more significant than visible ones. Qualities like these qualities I'm talking about, they are much more important than visible wealth. Visible wealth, visible riches, visible, riches like money and things like that. They just lose their ability. They fade away in the face of real, genuine qualities. If you want to be rich in these things, and then money will follow you. That's why I wrote that book. Money doesn't make you rich. Money will not make you rich. It is not money that makes people rich. What makes them rich, therefore? It is the qualities. You've got to be rich by these values. You've got to be rich by these qualities. It is when you already have these qualities and these values that they attract to you money. They attract to you money. It means that you are already wealthy. Money is made out of wealth. Money and riches is made out of wealth. As a matter of fact, riches come out of wealth and money come out of riches. And so if you have these qualities, you don't just have riches, but you have wealth. And wealth is the grandmother of money. Wealth is the grandmother of money, and you already have it. If you have that, every other things come from there. So, these values that we are talking about, these are the reasons that, okay, for example, what gave Bill Gates what he had? It's the qualities he had is what gave him money. Money is what came later. Anybody that you respect, anybody that you see that are rich in this world today, riches is the end result of what something attracted that riches to them. Something attracted that money to them. There is a wealth that they had that attracted every other thing to them. These are the qualities. If you talk about Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg, they were highly diligent people. Highly diligent people. And in the case of Mark Zuckerberg, it was very swift. That's why there are some people who are still fighting him up to now. That they came up first of all, well, they were the first to come up with the idea of Facebook, but it was swift. It was more swift. So he's the one that owns it now. So and so these qualities are the things that these people possess that now later attracted riches and money to them. So qualities, invisible qualities, are the real wealth, and they are much more stronger and much more powerful than money. They are much more powerful than money and other riches. Okay, listen closely. Today I said, if you want to win in life, persistence must be or must become your watchword. Persistence must become your watchword. I want you to listen to me and listen to what the type, like I said, the style that I'm going to use to preach today is I'm going to be bringing to you words of great men who have achieved great things in history. I'm not going to waste too much time talking about who they are because, it's going to take a longer time. But I'm going to read their words to you, and you will see the importance of this quality. That people who win in life, they are people who possess persistence. Persistence is actually almost the most. All of them are saying it is the most important quality that you need to win in life. If you really want to win in life, possess persistence. Persistence will really deliver you a lot of goodies, a lot of victories than many other things will not give you. If you have persistence and you don't have any other thing, persistence will attract any other thing you need to use. So let's hear what Calvin Coolidge said. Calvin Coolidge, that is Calvin Coolidge. He was a former president of the United States of America. Let's see what he says about persistence. He says, you may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. No. Calvin Coolidge has another quotation on persistence. Let me just give you another one. There's another quotation on persistence from Calvin Coolidge that I'm looking for. Just a minute, I got the wrong one. This one is not bad too, but there is another one that I am just in love with. Yeah, it is this one. Sorry guys, I don't know how that happened. The one I got also was good, but the one I really wanted to start with is this one I will give you now. I cannot trade it for anyone. I must give you the... I have it. Sorry, it is the number. I have it here. It's just the number that was written there was the one that is wrong. Sorry. I didn't put number under it, and that's why I didn't realize that I had it. I actually had it here. Yeah, it's here. Okay. Now, Calvin Coolidge, what did he say? Calvin Coolidge said, you can't believe it, unbelievable. Listen closely. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. I don't know if you heard that. So money cannot take the place of persistence. I mean, he was a president. Presidency cannot take the place of persistence. Why? Because it is persistence, that quality that made him president. Influence cannot take the place of persistence. Why? Because it is thanks to the persistence that they became influential. Money, riches cannot take the place of persistence. Why? It is thanks to that persistence that the riches came to him. Friends cannot take the place of persistence, because it is the persistence that attracted the friends. Tell me who wins in life. Show me a man that is persistent, and I will show you a man that will win in life, in whatsoever endeavor he finds himself. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. In fact, let me tell you something about this man. Calvin Coolidge is more famous for his quotation on persistence. This quotation is more famous than himself as a president. People know his quotation more than they know that he was a president. He's more known for his quotation than for his presidency. Words. Can you believe that? What he said, one phrase, is outliving him. Nobody remembers his records as a president. Nobody remembers what he achieved, or how much money he had, or how many children he had. They remember his words about persistence. So, what it says is, nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. They are supreme. Persistence and determination, they go together. They are supreme. Supreme. The slogan, "Press on," has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. He believes, Calvin Coolidge believes, that this quality alone is capable of solving all problems that humanity could have. So you want to tell me that if we possess persistence and could apply it into every endeavor of life, that we could solve the problem of Africa? You want to tell me that we could solve the technological problem in Africa? You want to tell me that we could solve the poverty problem in Africa just because of persistence? You want to tell me, Mahasa Kambo Shondoyo, that if we could teach our people persistence and give and building the quality into them from kindergarten age, from nursery age, into the age of adulthood, that these kids could change their generation and improve the world? Well, if it had only been the former president of America, Calvin Coolidge, who has this opinion, then you could have said maybe he had a mistake, he made a mistake. But over and over again, this quality has proven itself. Over and over again, including the scriptures everywhere, in any religion. Every religion, every holy book has attested to the power and strength and supremacy and the paramount position of persistence. 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 Let's examine those words again. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. No. Did you pay attention to that? Nothing in the world. Nothing? Nothing? Children will not take the place of persistence. Husband, wife, children, family will not take the place of persistence. Because if you don't have persistence and you go to get set up a family, that's why people end up divorcing. Because they didn't have persistence and they were setting up family. Persistence is what will cause the family to endure. Persistence is what will cause the family to stand. If you don't have persistence and you're going to have children, you are shooting yourself in the feet. That's why some people who don't have persistence and they brought up they are trying to bring up children. They end up, even some of them end up rejecting their children or even killing their children. Why? Because you need persistence to be able to raise up these children in the way they are supposed to be and to become successful. So, by the way, if you have not shared the link to this message, you just look under the video. Your device will tell you where the button is, or a sign of share. So go ahead and share. Let's go ahead and press that button and share this message, please. So it says persistence. He said nothing will take the place of persistence. But when he was talking about nothing, he was talking about qualities. And the very first one he spoke about is talent. Many people depend on their talents. And we make a big deal about talent sometimes. But talent has been overemphasized. We have overemphasized talent. Talent without persistence, that's what he's saying. That there is nothing more common than men who are failures, even though with talents. Men with talents who are mediocres. Men with talent who have failed miserably. Men with talent, yet they have been disgraced. Men with talent, yet they are paupers. And people who are just poor, people who are just miserable, people who are failures, people who are losers, even though with all the talents that you might imagine. So he said there is nothing more common. He said you can look. Everybody, by the way, is talented in something. So why are they all not successful? Why are they all not great if everybody's already talented? Because the talent will not take you anywhere without the persistence to work. The persistence of work. The persistency in everything you're doing. Even you need persistence to develop that talent. So he said, if you want to talk about talent, it's everybody. You can look anywhere and see people who are talented, but yet they fail because they lack persistence. You won't talk about genius. There are a lot of you that are watching me right now, and you are thinking, if I could only become a genius, if I could only be smart, if I could only be smart, how I wish I could become a genius like Albert Einstein. Oh, I would have been a hero. How I wish I could become a genius like Isaac Newton. I would have been a hero. How I wish I could become a genius like Thomas Edison. The fact is, those people, they were never recognized as genius when they were younger. They were never recognized as genius when they started their life. But because they discovered persistence, when they discovered persistence, they discovered ingenuity. When they discovered persistence, the persistence itself attracted ingenuity to them. It made them from failures into genius. They became genius men just because they will not give up. They embrace persistence and turn their destiny around. Einstein, they said he was too dull for school. The mother had to take him out of school. Same thing for Thomas Edison. He was even deaf. If we could teach our children, even ourselves, to never give up, because being persistent is to be tenacious, and to possess the quality of always advancing, always doing what you need to do, and sticking to it, no matter the attack, no matter the resistance, no matter the difficulty, pushing yourself. Keep on pushing yourself. Keep on pushing yourself and never looking back. Don't be distracted by anything. Don't let anything shift your focus. Don't let anything distract you. Don't let anything, move your concentration. But being so focused and concentrated, and keep on pushing, moving forward until you attain your goal. That's what persistence is. So persistence is superior to genius. Persistence is superior to talent. Because unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. People just laugh and just joke at all the geniuses that were supposed to be genius, but they don't even have anything to show for it. Education will not compare. Education will not compare to persistence. That's why people like Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates, they didn't even finish university. They didn't even have a diploma of university diploma. But they demonstrated an incredible amount of persistence in whatever they wanted. They were so persistent about what they wanted. They were so persistent. They were so persistent about whatever they wanted that now those universities that they didn't finish, they are proud that they even entered first to try to even study there. They are now lecturing in those universities where they didn't finish. Why? Persistent made a difference. Because they were so, one of them was so persistent, he was always in the garage. Bill Gates. He was so persistent, from the garage, he became at the mountain top of the world. Zuckerberg, from the dormitory, he was so persistent, he was there until the world discovered him from that dormitory. Persistence. And the people who went and got the diploma, nobody heard about them up to now. Nobody even knows who they are, what they are. Either they have a name or they don't have a name. Education will not compare to persistence. Because the world is full of educated men who are just derelicts. Who are just there living depression, they're just going to work, they're just coming and going, they're just servants and slaves to Uncle Sam. Persistence in what you want. Persistence in pursuing your passion. Persistence in keeping on working on yourself. Persistence in adding value to yourself. Persistence in making yourself better. Persistence in getting knowledge. Persistence in pushing for whatever goal you have set before yourself. Persistence in making sure you cultivate your promise. Persistence in the goal and target that you have put for yourself. Being persistent and tenacious is what makes a difference. And that's what Calvin Coolidge said. Persistence and determination alone, those persistence and determination, which is the same, and in this case, they are actually supreme. They are omnipotent. They are paramount. They will make you anything. Persistence and determination will make you anything. So, press on. That slogan alone is capable, as resolved. He said, that slogan alone, this is a president, he's talking like this. He said, that slogan alone, keep on pressing on to your goal, to your target. It has resolved. It is one singular quality that has helped to resolve all human problems. And it will solve the problems of human race further. Is that not wonderful? That's why you keep on seeing me day and night here. Do you know I have cold right now? I have cold because it's been cold, very cold here. And I caught cold, my throat is bad, my nose is bad, my temperature, is all up there. But I'm persistent. I'm doing what I need to do. Because persistence is paramount. Persistence is omnipotent. Determination and persistence will resolve the problems of the world. Let's move from Calvin Coolidge to Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou is an American writer, very gifted black American writer. What does she say about persistence? She says, you may encounter many defeats, and there is no way you can live your life and go through life without defeat. Everybody will experience defeat. There is just nobody that managed to go through life without defeat. Even Jesus experienced defeat. That seems like a blasphemy to a lot of people. How could Jesus experience defeat? Well, in the eyes of men, that is. In the eyes of God, it's not a defeat. Because Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane and was asking God to remove the cup, the cup from him, for him not to have to go through the cross. And he was so interested in that, he really wanted that prayer to be answered. But that prayer was not answered. In the eyes of men, that was a big defeat. And he had to humble himself and have to accept the defeat and said, okay, it's not my will. But his will really was that the cup should have gone and escaped him. So he had to say, okay, it's not my will. Father, let it be your will now. You do what you want. But otherwise, he failed. So there is no way you could go through life without failing. I mean, he wanted to go to Jerusalem one time. And some villagers stopped on the way and they would not allow him to pass. He had to go and take another village. That's like failure, naturally speaking, in the eyes of men. Because he couldn't get his goal attained. So there's almost no way for you to go through life without failing. And those are lessons for us. I think those things happen in the life of Jesus just to teach us a lesson or two. So Maya Angelou is saying here, you may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. That is persistence. When you are encountering failures, defeat, and it's like everything is just beating you in the hand to give up. And you just keep on waking up and going your way to do what you need to do. You have been defeated, but you keep on going. That's why even God said the righteous will fall 7 times and will still remain righteous. Why? As long as he's standing up and he's still going, he's a righteous man. The same with persistence. As long as you are persistent in going to your vision, to your goals, to your purpose, to your pursuit, as long as you are not accepting the defeat and you are not as giving up on your goal and on your mission, even if you stop physically, but you don't have to stop in your intention. Okay, for example, like Jesus, he was going to Jerusalem, but they would not allow him to go through that village. So he stopped. Even though he stopped, he couldn't keep on going through that way. There will be times like that when all of us will have to go into some compromise or the other. So he had to reach a compromise. What compromise? He had to go back. So he didn't keep on going, but in his heart, he didn't give up. He was not defeated. He didn't allow himself to be defeated. So there will be situations like that when you have to win, when you have to lose the battle to win the war. So like that was what happened with Jesus. So even though he was defeated, he encountered defeat, but he was not allowing himself to be defeated. He would not allow himself to be defeated. So there will be a lot of situations whereby what happened will look like a defeat. So you have to retreat or go back on whatever you are planned to do. But you could still go back and plan once again. And then go another way. In fact, in some cases, you might want to go back to retrace your step and your goal, maybe after a year or after 2 years or after 3 years. It might not be immediate because there are some people who are just stubborn. Stubbornness is not persistence. They are different things. Because if you are stubborn and they say don't go that way, and you see that you have failed and there is just no way there, and you say, well, I will do it anyway, then they shoot you or they kill you, and you are going to blame God. Why didn't God protect you? Because you are supposed to use wisdom. The fact that you turn back, like Jesus turned back, doesn't mean that he was experiencing defeat. You've turned back, but in his heart, he didn't take defeat. He was going to look for another way, or he was going to come back another time. He was going to go through another strategy, another city, another road, but he will still attain his purpose. So just for you to know that persistence doesn't mean just being stubborn and like a bulldog. Bulldog sometimes doesn't have wisdom. The bulldog, you won't just, he doesn't have brain. He's just doing it, like persistence. If it's not working, maybe you need to stop and change your strategy. If it's not giving you the expected result, maybe it's time for you to go another way. So this persistence is not just being, having bulldog, persistence or stubbornness. There is a difference between stubbornness and persistence. So Maya Angelou here is saying, you may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. The more important thing is what's happening inside. Outside, it might look like a defeat, but you know where you are inside. You are not defeated inside. And that's what some people want. They want to see you defeated inside. They want you to lose hope, to drop your defense, and to just give up and say, but real champions, they encounter defeats, they encounter failures, they encounter different situations. But in their heart, every failure makes them even more determined. In their heart, every failure, every situation makes them to even be more persistent. They might come up with new ways, with new methods, with new strategies, but they're still going to where they're going to. So you may encounter defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeat for your own good. So what people call defeat is not always as bad as people view it. Because what people call defeat for you might be actually your classroom, your lessons, your stepping stone. So it might be necessary for you to encounter defeat so you can know who you are, so that you can know who you are. Some defeats are necessary for us to discover ourselves. Thank God Thomas Edison encountered all those defeats. He said, I didn't fail 1,000 times. I found 10,000 ways how not to do it. He discovered strength in himself. When you fail and you keep on going, you discover your new self. You discover a new energy in yourself. You discover a new capacity in yourself, a new quality in yourself. You begin to have more faith in yourself. You begin to know you could even handle bigger tasks and bigger challenges. So defeat, as long as you have not admitted it as a defeat, it's not a defeat. It's a classroom. It's a learning process. So you can know who you are. Defeat help you to know who you are, to discover the new you, and to discover new methods of doing things in different ways. Defeat also shows you, according to Maya Angelou, what you can rise from. That no matter how down, how low you have dropped, that the defeat has come not to destroy you. Your defeat has come not to shame you. Your defeat has come to show you new understanding about yourself. That for you to know from how low you can come, and for you to know from how far you could arise, and for you to know how many times you could stand, and for you to know how much strength you've got inside. So let me read that again. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. Persistence. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so that you can know who you are, what you can rise from, how you can still come out of it. So that is the meaning of persistence. That's the meaning of persistence. Let me give you another one. Number 3 quotation says, look at a stone. Look at a stone cutter. When you look at a stone cutter hammering away at his rock, when you look at a stone cutter hammering away at his rock, perhaps 100 times, without as much as a crack, no sign that this stone is going to break, but you keep on hammering on it. As much as 100 times. Without as much as a crack showing in it. Yet, at the 101st blow, it was split in two. And I know it was not the last blow that did it, but all that had gone, all the blows that had gone before. Who said that? Jacob raised a huge wisdom. It's like the example I was giving about the tree one time. You fall in the tree, but the tree fell at a stage, maybe at the 200th blow or hit. Is it the last hit that made the tree to fall, or that made the stone to break? No. It is the combination of your persistence. It is the combination of your persistence. Persistence might not give you the result you desire immediately you want it. Persistence might not give you the result when you think it should come. Persistence might demand from you more than you are willing to give. Persistence might want you to give more, to go extra miles, to stretch you more. But the more you are persistent, that's the way persistence works. The more you are focused, the more you are tenacious, the more you are persistent, the sure guarantee that at a point you will attain your goal. And it will not be because of the fact that you just appeared one time, the last straw, and you just attained the goal. It's only because you've been persistent. It's only because you've been persistent. That is Jacob's race. It is not that I am so smart. I'm sure you people know who said this. All of you should know who said this. It is not that I am so smart. It is just that I stay with problems longer. Persistence. It is not that I am so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer. It's not that I'm so smart, but I stay with problems longer. Albert Einstein said that. Albert Einstein. Why is it that I discover more scientific discoveries than all other scientists? Because they can walk, and say, oh, there's nothing there. But I keep on going to work. Then others who go on also, you say, oh, no, there's nothing there. It's the end. But I keep on going. He keeps on pushing himself, and he discovers the breakthrough. That's Albert Einstein. Today, Barack Obama gave his last speech and said goodbye to the American people and to the world as a president of the nation. He said farewell. But one of the greatest lessons that the life of Barack Obama has showed us is the lesson of persistence. Let's check out in his own words. What does Barack Obama think about persistence? He says, making your mark on the world is hard. Oh boy, does he know what he's talking about? Who would know better than him? Being at the helm of the greatest nation in the world, he knows what it takes to make your mark upon the world. So he's saying making your mark on the world is hard. Then he continues, if it were easy, everybody would do it. We got that right? But it's not. Then he says, it takes patience. It takes commitment. All these are the other sub-qualities that are displayed in you when you are persistent. It takes patience, it takes commitment, and it comes with plenty of failure along the way. He knows about the failure as well. He didn't just say one failure or two failures. He said with plenty failures. Plenty. To make your impact, not just on the world, but on any sphere of influence, on any sphere of life. For you to make your impact, for you to be able to put your mark or make your mark on any sphere of influence in the world, the most important lesson you must learn is that you must be persistent. Because you will fall many times, you will fail many times, you'll be disappointed many times, you'll be let down many times. But if you will learn the secret of persistence, and if you keep on pursuing your goal, if you will keep on moving forward and pushing yourself to the limit, despite failures, he said, the real test is not whether you avoid these failures or not, because you won't. So don't you be rejoicing that you never failed. You will still fail. Nobody will avoid failures. Nobody can avoid failures. Because you won't. That's what Obama said. It's whether you let it, the failure will come anyway. But it is whether you let it harden you to make you stronger, or you will let it shame you into inaction. So if you let your failure shame you, then you will not ever act again. You will never ever act again, because you'll be ashamed, intimidated, and that cows you, that paralyzes you. It disables you. Or whether you learn from it, whether you choose to persevere. When you choose to persevere, you learn. When you choose to persevere, you are hardened to be stronger, and then you could bring even greater fruits. That's Barack Obama for you. Making your mark on the world is hard. It is. If it were easy, everybody would do it. But it's not. It takes patience. It takes commitment. And it comes with plenty of failure along the way. The real test is not whether you avoid this failure, because you won't. It's whether you let it harden or shame you into inaction, or whether you learn from it, whether you choose to persevere. And that's what makes the difference. If you choose to persevere, then you win. And then you reign. Another great guy that's commented on perseverance and the incredible, amazing qualities of this virtue is John Rockefeller. John Rockefeller is one of the most successful men that has ever lived on the earth. At a point, he used to be the richest human being on earth. He used to control a large part of the national budget of the United States of America. What does he think about persistence? Did it help him? Did it help him in his way, in his journey to success? Well, sure. Because what he says is, I do not think that there is any other quality so essential to success of any kind as the quality of perseverance. Persistence, perseverance. It overcomes almost everything, even nature. Can you believe it? I will say that again. John Rockefeller. I do not think that there is any other quality so essential to success of any kind as the quality of perseverance. It overcomes almost everything, even nature. It overcomes almost everything, even nature. Overcomes almost everything, across almost everything, even nature. These are people who have fought some incredible battles. They have fought some incredible battles. And he knows what he's talking about. That there is no greater value than for you to press forward, be persistent, be consistent, and be tenacious, going forward in the midst of trials, in the midst of attack, and in the midst of the thoughts and temptation to go back, when nobody understands you, when everybody is criticizing you, when everybody is thinking that you got it wrong, to be on your own and to keep on moving forward towards your goal. That quality overcomes everything, even the power of nature. He believes, like many others, that this is the greatest quality, that this is the greatest factor to success than any other one. Now, there is another person that I'm going to talk about today who is still alive today. So he's our contemporary. When we know him for his work. He's an expert in studying successful people. I'm talking about Mr. Forbes. You people have heard of the Forbes list of the richest people in the world, the list of Forbes or Forbes list. Mr. Forbes is still alive. He's the one that is publishing those magazines. Maybe it was started by his father, I don't know, but he's the publisher is still alive, Forbes. And he knows, he's an expert in studying what factors lead people to success and why people are successful. And why, and who are the most successful people in the world. And so, because he knows their stories, let's hear what he says about persistence. Forbes says, history has demonstrated that the most notable winners usually encountered heartbreaking obstacles before they triumphed. They won only because they refused to become discouraged by their defeat. Persistence and perseverance. They keep on moving forward. They keep on advising no matter what. And this is, after comparing to the life of so many other people. Next point. Tom Hopkins says, I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I fail. And keep trying. Failure doesn't make you successful automatically, but when you fail and keep on trying, then you could say you will eventually win. And then people will judge you not by your failures, but by your victories, by your success. And then the amount of the times that you succeed will be proportional to the amount of time you fail if you keep on trying. But let's hear the last two people that I have here. I really respect them. And I respect their minds and their words. So if you people really want to get on top in the world, if you want to get ahead in the world, especially if there are youth and young people who are listening to this, this should really help you, because you can start your life knowing what it takes. You could start your life, already equipped by the right qualities. Learning, and this is very connected to the morning message, learning to fight. Because you cannot fight without persistence. You cannot fight without being perseverance, without persistence. So if you really want to win in life, if you have this quality, you've done yourself a lot of good. You've done yourself a lot of good. The next two people that I'm going to talk about are people that you all know very well. The next one is Aristotle, the great philosopher, the father of philosophy. Aristotle says, we are what we repeatedly do. Persistent. You could actually say, we become what we persistently do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Continually do it, continually do it. We are who or what we continuously do. Excellence, therefore, is not that you win an Olympic. You won an Olympic. It's not an act, but a habit, what you continuously do. That's what excellence is. Then the last person I want to use quotation I want to share is Benjamin Franklin. The great man in my mind. Benjamin Franklin said, energy and persistence conquer all things. Energy and persistence, but there is no persistence without energy. You know, when you are persistent, you put energy behind it. Energy and persistence conquer all obstacles. They conquer all things. And a lot of these people themselves, they pass a very big exam when it comes to persistence. Perhaps the most popular example of persistence and perseverance is, of course, Abraham Lincoln. Everybody knows the story of Abraham Lincoln and how he used persistence to become the most successful president that America has ever had. The most popular, the most beloved president. Abraham Lincoln, in 1831, lost his job. 1832, he was defeated for state legislation. But he didn't give up. He kept on fighting, he kept on striving, kept on moving forward. In 1833, he failed in this business, but he kept on moving forward. That's persistence. In 1835, his sweetheart died, but he didn't give up. He kept on persevering and moving forward. By 1836, he had a nervous breakdown, but he didn't lie down in bed and pity himself. He got up and kept on moving, kept on persisting. By 1838, he was defeated in run for Illinois State Speaker. But he still continued. He got up, picked himself up, and kept on following through to his goals and to his vision. He was not discouraged. He didn't allow himself to be stopped. By 1843, he was defeated again in his run for the Congress. Before it was state, now Congress, he was defeated. But he got up again and kept on moving on. By 1848, he was defeated again for another attempt at the Congress. He lost again. But Abraham Lincoln is a dogged fighter. He got up, dusted his body out of the dust, and went for another attempt. In 1849, he was rejected in his bid for land officer. Just like everything was against him. If it had been today, some churches would have said he needed deliverance. They would have said, nobody feels like this. You need deliverance for sure. We need deliverance minister very fast. But he knew that it's not deliverance minister he needed. He needed equality. He was developing himself. He was discovering how thick he could become. He was developing himself. He was discovering himself. He was building infrastructure of character in himself. He was building content of character. He was building the most valuable values in his own life. In 1854, he also tried to run for Senate because he had been defeated 2 times for Congress. So in 1854, he decided to run for Senate and he was defeated again. In 1856, is decided to run as the vice president of the country. He was defeated again. But he kept on walking, he kept on moving forward until 1858. After all his defeat, the only victory he had was the one that matters most. He was elected to be the president of the United States. No. In 1858, he was actually defeated again on his attempt to run for Senate. Then in 1860, he was elected the president of the United States. It's unbelievable. So where are the generational curses people have come up with? Where are the stories of where are the other stories people would have been telling him? Thank God he never had those ministers. Or maybe he was never even a church goer. God saved him. Otherwise, they would have been telling him to come and spend 3 months in the church every day, 40 days of miracle, 40 days of favor, and all that. Rubbish. He wouldn't have become so successful because he would not have developed the tenacity. He would not have developed the qualities that he developed in the process. He would not have developed the qualities that made him to be the best president if he had not gone through those trials. Those trials were actually his preparatory school. They were preparing him. They were getting him ready. They were causing him to develop the best quality in himself because he had the right attitude. So he could be trusted with the success that he had eventually. Sorry, guys. I'm still battling with this, my cold. So that was an example for you of somebody who was supposed to have given up and have been condemned, but he refused to be condemned. He used persistence to turn around his destiny. You know, you probably heard of Colin Sanders. Colin Sanders, at the age of 65, with a beat-up car and $100 check from Social Security, realized he had to do something. He remembered his mother's recipe and went out selling. How many doors did he have to knock on before he got his first order? It is estimated that he had knocked on more than 1,000 doors before he got his first order. How many of us quit after just 3 attempts, or 10 trials, or 100 trials? He was, you know, Colin Sanders. That's the person who made KFC. They call it. KFC is Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's the person who he just got the recipe from his mother and he kept on going. 1,000, knocked on over 1,000 doors before he got his first order. Today, KFC, in fact, if you don't have KFC in your country, you are not sophisticated. If you don't have KFC in your country, you are not sophisticated. 1,000 doors. By the time you knock on the 3rd door or 4th door, even that, let's say if you are the most tenacious, maybe 10 doors. But on the 10th door, you would have been asking for deliverance, or for anointing oil, or for some, mystic manifestations. You would have been asking for some pastors to lay hands on you. You would have been asking for some, people to come with you and cast out the demons from your business and from your house. And, you would have been asking for holy oil to pour down on the way, or holy water, or some prophetic utterances. You would have been going for deliverance and staying in the houses where they need to cast the demons out of you. All kind of rubbish. But these people never fell into those. They never fell into those deceptions and those rubbish of telling people to come and do all that kind. Instead of them to develop qualities in themselves, instead of them to develop skills and these are some of the greatest skills that will actually make you to become who you need to become in life. But if could you get to become successful without this skill? Yeah, you could, but you'll never be able to retain the success. If you are going to get your success through magic, if you are going to get your success through miracles, if you are going to get your success through instant gratification, then you don't get time to develop the skills. Then you don't become anything. You just get it without preparing yourself. You didn't build the muscles. It is the failures, the difficulties that make you to build up the qualities. It is the failures and the resistance and the attack that cause you to build up the muscles that you need to become who you need to become and to be able to act and function there. And those are the qualities that make you to become good in whatever you want to do. So if we are going to be escaping all our challenges, all our persistence, and all our, you are missing out on the opportunity to be able to develop the best qualities in yourself. So you are going to be going to Holy Spirit, or Holy Ghost meetings and Holy Ghost, whatever, miracle and signs and wonders, and you are going to be getting miracles, without developing the skills. Then you will never really qualify to do anything much. It is, so we shouldn't be going through escapism. We should not be embracing escapism, or what do you call it? Escapism? Escapism. Yeah, we should not embrace the theory of escapism. We should rather reject this kind of doctrine of escapism. Escapism doctrine that is making you not to go through anything, not to suffer anything, and to just go and get anointing, to just go and get or hands laid on you, to just go and get prayers, and then you don't need to suffer all the things, you just need to pass through them. You are not helping yourself, because you never become skillful. You will never become an expert. You will never become good in anything properly. So sometimes it is your failure that is your greatest achievement, or greatest, qualifications, or greatest blessings. So, but people who are running after miracles, it's counterproductive. Because when you begin to run after miracles, you are telling me that you don't want to grow. When you begin to run after miracles, you are telling me that you don't want to change. When you begin to run after miracles, you are telling me that you don't want to persevere. When you begin to run after miracles, you are telling me that you don't want to pay the price. When you begin to run after miracles, you are telling me that you don't want to develop yourself. You don't want the content in your character. You don't want the content in your behavior. You don't want to change your attitude. You don't want to become better. When you just want instant miracle, then you don't want to develop yourself. You don't want to unveil the riches and the resources that are already in you. You don't want to become an expert in what you want to do. Of course, I finish with the quotations. Of course, I hope you understand that. The examples that I'm giving are just examples of people who used perseverance to become who they needed to become. Abraham Lincoln, Colin Sanders, Wright brothers. And Wright brothers, those are the people that design planes. We use planes today. They are the ones who invented planes. They had to overcome a lot of resistance and a lot of failures. A New York Times editorial of December 10, 1903 questioned the wisdom of the Wright brothers, who were trying to invent a machine. That was then, during their lifetime. Even newspaper, New York Times, got to know about their attempts, that these people are not giving up, that they are just trying, after failing so many times. It has to, the newspaper had to carry the report that these people are crazy. In fact, they have to publish it in the newspaper to ridicule them. So they are saying, the newspaper questioned them and said, they are trying to invent a machine heavier than air that will fly. So they are saying 1 week later at Kitty Hawk, the Wright brothers took their famous flight, and the rest is history. What about if they had been intimidated by the newspaper article? I mean, the most important newspaper in that country at that time, New York Times. laughing at them that, you are doing something that is totally crazy. But they will not give up. And they made history. Now, all those journalists who are writing those articles, nobody remembers them. They are dead and forgotten long time ago. But these ones who use perseverance to make history, they will never be forgotten anymore. What about Walt Disney? You all know of Disneyland. He is another man that used perseverance to change his generation and to erect his name in history. He would never be forgotten in history because of what he had come up with. Now, as a young man, Disney was a cartoonist. Walt Disney faced many rejections from newspaper editors because mainly cartoonists were employed by newspapers so that they would be drawing cartoons and be laughing at politicians and things like that. But thank God he was rejected, because he would have just sat down in newspaper and be in newspaper editorial and be writing and be drawing some funny cartoons to make people laugh. The world would not have seen what is Walt Disney today, Disneyland today. The world would not have seen it if he had been employed. So some of the things we call bad luck and some of the things that we call failure is actually a blessing in disguise, because if they have not rejected him or that, you wouldn't have come up with the idea of Disney World. So what is your own attitude to your own failure? What is your own attitude to your own rejection? When we are being rejected, when nothing is working out, are you angry, frustrated at God? Or you know that God knows better? God knows better, and God knows why you have been rejected. God allowed him to be rejected. I believe that God even hardened the heart of those editors that didn't accept him, because God knew that God loved him too much for him to waste his ideas. God knows that he was worth more than those things he was dreaming of. But if he had been discouraged and folded his hand and go to depression, of course we wouldn't have heard about him. So that's what Obama said. Either you are going to use your failure as an encouragement, as a reason to keep on persevering, or you are going to use it as a reason to say you are ashamed, you are intimidated, and to just fold your hands and not do anything. But as long as you embrace perseverance, as long as you embrace persistence, as long as you say, I'm going to keep on going, no matter how many, I'm going to keep on looking for a way, I'm going to keep on fighting, I'm going to keep on pushing myself, like what Disney did. That was enough. And he kept on pushing until he got the idea of Disneyland. So he was rejected many times by these editors who said he had no talent. Who had talent, where are they now? Nobody even knows them. But he kept on developing himself. Maybe at that point, really, he didn't have talent. It's true. He might not be having talent at that particular time. That is obvious, or that is as big as the other people had. But he kept on pushing himself, polishing his abilities, polishing his skills until he became better than all the ones who were having talent. And those ones who had talent, they were just sitting there in the newspapers and working and getting salary. They sold themselves out for Uncle Sam. But he kept on developing himself to the extent that he created the most creative invention in the whole, entertainment in the whole world, which is Disneyland. He was even fired from one of those editors who told him he lacked imagination. And those things that they said he lacked are the things that he's mostly known for now, because he had developed himself in them, and he has become so good now that, he developed himself. He was able to come up with some solutions that the whole world has not been able to come up with it. They said he lacked imagination and original ideas. Now, you see who lacks original ideas. One day, a minister at a church hired him to draw some cartoons. Disney was walking out of a small house, mouse-infected shed near the church. After seeing a small mouse, he was inspired. A mouse is his key main thing. Just by observing nature, he was inspired by this mouse in the church church mouse. It was inspired by the mouse. That was the start of Mickey Mouse. The movement of the mouse. Studying the movement of the mouse. And that's how God used his talent to observe to give birth to Mickey Mouse. Now it's like every child in the world knows what Mickey Mouse is. How people would have received the spark of inspiration from that source. Because all the rejection he had been going through, they were developing in him his creativity. They were developing in him his skills. They were developing in him to become better. So all those rejections, if they had been leading him, of course, to depression, he wouldn't have become better. But they were leading him to working more on himself. He kept on persisting. So what happens is not when you get the trophy, but what do you do at those moments of rejection? Are you using the rejection to better yourself? Are you using the rejection to improve yourself? Are you using the failure to better yourself? Are you using the defeat to improve yourself? It is what you are doing. It is when you are persistent in defeat and in failure, that is when you improve yourself the better. That is when the skills come out. It is when you are able to keep on working on yourself no matter what is happening outside. That is what the difference is. Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison one day, Thomas Edison used to be a partially deaf 4-year-old kid. One day he came home with a note in his pocket from his teacher. And the teacher said, your Tommy, that is Thomas Edison, your son, Tommy, is too stupid to learn. Get him out of school. His mother read that note and answered, my Tommy is not stupid to learn. I will teach him myself. That woman showed persistence in teaching. She did so good job. She was persistent by not believing the wrong report. She was persistent by doing what the teachers would not do. And thank God. Nobody who ever finished all American schools had more name than this one who never finished any school. The persistence of a man, of a mother, produced a result that all schools put together, where there were talented students or something, they couldn't produce one Thomas Edison. He's alone in his own class, the greatest American scientist of all time, because a mother would not give up. In the face of shame, defeat, either you allow your failure and defeat to become a shame to you that demoralizes you and that leaves you without action, or you are going to allow your defeat and failure to become your inspiration to be even more persistent. If you could, if you could, know that particular quality, how to use persistence. You use it when things are bad. You use it when things are going against you. That's when you need to use persistence more. Not when things are good. Not when things are working out your way. But when things are going the opposite direction. When things are, bringing you to a place whereby you would like to, more than anything else, give up. It is the persistence and the continuation, the tenaciousness at that time that benefits you the most. That benefits you the most. Let me give you some other examples here. Apart from the great men of God, let me just give you other life examples of persistence and how persistence has helped change the course of history, and how persistence has helped resolve some major problems facing humanity, and how persistence has helped our world up till now. Number one, NASA. That NASA or NASA? NASA. Huh? NASA, American NASA, experienced 20 failures in its 28 attempts to send rockets to space. They only had 28 attempts. 28 times they wanted to send rocket to the space. 20 out of 28 times they failed. That is NASA. 20 out of 28 is failure. But NASA now is in the mouth of everybody. Why is it that they were able to enter the moon? They didn't give up. They are persistent. Everybody now knows what NASA is. Next example. There is a writer in America that is called Tim Ferriss. He has a breakthrough bestseller, New York Times bestseller status. He's a bestseller, New York bestseller author. But before he could become a bestseller, all publishers where he took his book to rejected his book. They say it was not material. It's not a material good enough to be published. In fact, it went to 25 publishers. How will many of us don't even know 25 publishers. Many of us will just do one publisher, two publisher, three publisher, five publishers. By the time you try for 5 publishers and all of them are saying the same thing, that you are not gifted, that your manuscript is not good enough, that it will never be published, you just believe them that yes. But it's not just that it kept on looking for publishers, but it kept on improving the work as well. Only after 25 publishers wanted to say, let's try. And it became a hit and broke the record of New York bestseller list. Henry Ford, the man that sat America on a car and that made America and Americans to all have a car in every family, who had that vision, who went through that vision, and who attained that goal. That man, Henry Ford, failed and became broke 5 times before he hit a breakthrough. He became bankrupt, broke. He failed. He became bankrupt 5 times before he could start Ford Motors. He became broke, no money. He didn't just fail. 5 times before he could succeed once. So the fact that you are failing, that if you are persistent in failure, that is what works for you. It improves you. It makes you to discover the virtues that you never had when you started. Those failures, when you keep on persisting and improving on the failures, when you keep on improving, examining yourself, because when Ford was failing, because he couldn't get the car, he couldn't get them to work. That's why he was failing. It would take money. He would be bankrupt because the car would not work. But because he kept on in failure, he kept on improving himself. Failure is a call for improvement. Failure and defeat are calls for improvement. They are not calls to give up. They are calls for perfection. And it is when you are persevering in the midst of that failure and defeat that perfection comes to you, because you are not giving up. You keep on perfecting yourself. Albert Einstein was thought to be mentally retarded and handicapped when he was in high school. Primary school. In fact, they had to take him out of primary school also, and the mother had to teach him too. They say he couldn't study, and he became the greatest scientist of modern physics with Nobel Prize. We know the story of Thomas Edison. 1,000 attempts before inventing the light bulb. And I told you what his teacher said, that he's too stupid to learn. I told you about Walt Disney. As a matter of fact, but Walt Disney, even after he saw the mouse, he started to try to do his company. And he failed so many times before, but he never gave up. The persistence made him to build Walt Disney World. I'm sure all of you have heard of Jack London. He's an American writer. Jack London was rejected not 25 times from the publishers. How many times? You want to know how many times Jack London's manuscript was rejected by publishers? 600 times. But Jack London today is a classic. Not 100, 600. In fact, if you don't read Jack London's book, you are not educated. Have you all heard of Vincent van Gogh? Vincent van Gogh is one of the greatest artists. Yeah? The world has ever known. In fact, the works of Van Gogh today, they are selling from one painting alone, could be costing millions of dollars. One painting alone, one. But when he was alive, Van Gogh, he couldn't sell one. He couldn't sell even one of his paintings. Everybody rejected it. They said they don't understand it. It's rubbish. But he kept on improving himself. He kept on persisting. He kept on just working on himself, increasing. Defeat and failure are only a call for improvement. And when you show persistence and keep on going and working on yourself, it's not gift again. It's not even talent. It's improvement. Improvement. He kept on working on. He didn't stop. He kept on doing many other works. Even though he was being rejected, he would keep on improving. And in fact, for all his lifetime, Van Gogh only sold one painting. Only one. Only one. He died in poverty. He couldn't even sustain himself. Only somebody bought one time. All others they rejected. But he kept on working. He would not give up. But after he died, people discovered that what he was doing was too much, too advanced for his generation. Now, are you getting it now why Pastor Sunday is keeping on coming here? Even though I'm sick, I'm having a headache, I'm having temperature, I'm having, bad throat, nose. I keep on coming day and night. Persistence. Persistence, my dear. Not in beat, persistence. Energy and persistence conquer all things. Benjamin Franklin. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. Aristotle. I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I fail and keep trying. Tom Hopkins. History has demonstrated that the most notable winners usually encounter heartbreaking obstacles before they triumphed. They won because they refused to become discouraged by their defeat. Forbes. I do not think that there is any other quality so essential to success of any kind as the quality of perseverance. It overcomes almost everything, even nature. John Rockefeller. Making your mark on the world is hard. If it were easy, everybody would do it. But it's not. It takes patience. It takes commitment. And it comes with plenty of failure along the way. The real test is not whether you avoid this failure, because you won't. It's whether you let it harden or shame you into inaction, or whether you learn from it, whether you choose to persevere. Barack Obama. So I'm asking you, if you have not yet shared this link and this message, I will encourage you to go do it. Let's go look for a way, an opportunity to share the message right now. You will be happy you did. It's not that I am so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer. Albert Einstein. Look at a stone cutter hammering away at its rock, perhaps 100 times without as much as a crack showing in it. Yet at the 101st blow, it will split in two. And I know it was not the last blow that did it, but all that had gone before. Jacob Race. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, how you can still come out of it. Maya Angelou. And the grandmother of them all, Calvin Coolidge. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than successful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan "Press on" are soft and always will solve the problems of the human race. That's my submission. I hope you got something from today's teaching. Really hope so. Really hope so. Okay, let me see what you guys are thinking. TY, thank you so much. By the way, go share the link. If you have not yet shared the link, go look for that link and share it. TY say, thank you so much, Dr. Adelaja. Truly, you are a master teacher, and we are being completely remade. Adiola Disu, yes, sir, you are an excellent example of being persistent. Come rain or sunshine, you are constant. Gift Amos, thank you, mentor. You are too much. May God bless you for this work. Olaniyi Dada, SpaceX had money for only 4 attempts into space and made it on the 4th attempt. Jane Munsaka, God bless you, Dr. Adelaja, for your persistence, perseverance, and consistency. Molly, we love you, sir. Thank you. Rochelle White, you are one of the greatest blessings on this earth. Revelation knowledge brings us into our inheritance. That's why we need to go and share this message. We need to go and share it, especially for the next generation. And you need to write some things on it when you are sharing it. Write some comments, write some things. Babalola John, energy and persistence conquers all things. Yep, Benjamin Franklin. Shigo, the rejection are like sandpaper that helps smoothen us and on its own is worn out. Okay, yeah. God bless you, sir. Thank you. Pro David, I am legally blind and an editor of 8 authors and blessed by the so-called disability. Do your research. Editor for 8 authors. Wow. Gift Amos. Yes, this really blows my mind. You guys have to watch this message. Everybody have to watch it. Thank you. These are the people who win in life. If you want to win in life, develop this quality. You will win in life. It's not prayer, quick prayer, miracle, and all those things you need. These are the qualities you need that will make you to win in life. Flair Karim Matip, Pastor, you are giving this message with such a solemn, formal way that this puts me in a very collected and quiet, thoughtful mood. Thank God. Monica, thank God for these right brothers, because when there was no plane, people go to other countries on water. I remember my late dad told me that when he was going to London for the first time, he came with ship. And they spent 3 weeks on water before they got to England. Thank you to all these for all these inventions. Yep. Onyi Abiona Olutuyi. Pastor, you've just woken me up from my slumber, sir. Thank God. We need to spread this word, especially among Africans, I think. Lara Shomoye, don't rejoice saying you've never failed. It's because you have never tried a new thing, in which case you have not really succeeded either. You have not left your footprint in the sand of life. Yep. Anastasia, unfortunately, some movements in Ghana were pumped with the message of evangelists. Give your life to Jesus and all your problems will disappear. Benjamin Akwan. Even Jesus, for the joy that was set before him, had to endure the cross. Yep. Monique, may the Lord help us to be persistent in everything we do, that we may be a winner in life. Yep. Jane Munsaka, nothing in the world takes the place of persistence. This is vital knowledge I have learned from you today, Dr. Adelaja. I really appreciate. God bless you, sir. Gift Amos, this is my favorite message, sir. I have a lot to learn from this message. Thank you so much. I have listened to a similar message, but not as this. You really took your time to dish out everything in this message. Wow. Gladys Nwosu, thank you, sir, for this teaching. Back to school, but never been taught like this, like Pastor Sunday Adelaja. God bless you, sir. Amonike, wow. Thanks so much, Pastor Sunday, for this teaching. God bless you, sir. I pray that the Lord will help us to be persistent like you. If we have so many people like you, the world would have been a better place. I learn from you every day because I get discouraged easily. Okay, God can only reward you for this teaching and revelation. This generation will never be the same, especially those of us on this platform. Triumphant. Dr. Adelaja, I'm blessed. Please, these are the teachings we really need, not miracles and breakthroughs and prophecies that never come to reality. Sir, please think of God Embassy in Nigeria, please. Okay. Michael Afolabi, thank you, sir. I'm really lifted. I will start to use your message in Yoruba teaching from now. Please pray for me to go ahead. Wow. Blessings. I release you in Jesus' name. Anastasia, thank you, Pastor, for giving us a master class on one of the most wealthiest qualities, persistence. Yep. Princess Adetola, when life throws lemon at you, make it into lemonade. She's Sandra, God bless you so much, Pastor. You teach with passion. We are daily loaded. Love you, Pastor, mentor. Thank you. Christopher, God bless you, man of God, for this powerful secret. That's Christopher Abix. Marianne Abbott, Pastor, thank God I understand my entire life story through this teaching. Thank you so much. Babalola John, this is my first time here. God bless you. Oh, God bless you too. You know, I come on 2 times a day. So you go to the timeline and look at the schedule of these programs. It's 2 times a day. So, you know, it's 2 times a day. You could be watching this twice a day. And all the things that you have missed, you could follow the link and go and watch the ones you have missed. Ufuoma say, thank you so much, sir. This calls for sober reflection. Okay, I say today's teaching is mind-blowing. Wow. That's in my weakness with all my... Thank God. Mashu said, amazing teaching. Modupe, this teaching is so deep. God bless you. See why nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Yep. Bafu. Very grateful for this series. Encountered many defeats before, but I'm not defeated. Add value added. Jess Williams, your teachings are great. We should always remember to put God first in everything and all things. God loves it when we always invite him into our lives. Thank you. Babalola, I'm blessed, beautiful. Gift Amos, please let us go and write something on the headline of this because this passage is historical. Bernadette Egbunfo, I'm happy to be here today from Houston. Beautiful. Awodu Charles, this message is added virtue to my pursuit in life. Ada Precious, you must have perseverance, patience, and must be persistent to be an upstarter. Yeah, good. Deborah, we have to read about the one who invented Gary in Nigeria. Nkiru, Dr. Adelaja, your teachings are out of this world. I wonder why other pastors don't want to learn and teach their members these things. Paul David, I hug you in the name of the Lord, sir. You are awesome. Thank you. Galina, genius is who who thinks a lot and does research about a problem to find a decision. After that, people can call him genius. Yep. Flair Karen, a very encouraging word tonight. It is very healthy. Love it. Hope you are getting better, Pastor. Thank you so very much. Poor David, having dealt with blindness now for a while, I refuse to. Having dealt with blindness for a while, I refuse to take no for its true meaning. I take no as an opportunity to try again, go through another legal and ethical means, as an opportunity to evaluate and recharge, knowing that impossible or failure means it's just going to take longer time. And if someone else doesn't want to believe in me, it's not a reason for me to stop believing in myself. And if I do, who would invest in me? Yep. Triumph or not fair. I'm eager to be your established disciple. Your teachings are just exceptional. Please think of establishing God Embassy in Nigeria. Okay. Jane Musanka, nothing in the world will take, okay. Gloria Val, this is deep. Thank you, Pastor. Albentine, God bless you, Pastor Adelaja. You are a blessing to many of us. We continue to learn every day from you. Thank you. Please go and share the message. If you have not yet shared it, just look under the video. You'll see an instruction, a button that you could just press to share. Go share it. Triumphant, Dr. Adelaja, my father. I don't know if you are a teacher or a preacher. In Nigeria now, every church we now have prophets, no more teachers. Please, we need you personally, physically in Nigeria. Yep. TY, that you are here every day, come rain or shine. You are an amazing example of what you just taught us. Thank you. Well, thank you so very much, everybody. We've had a long day. I need to go and put something on my throat. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.